Hello vinyl community, Midge here, a guy in a hat who likes to talk about records, and on today's video I'm going to be talking about 4 new release albums I've been enjoying throughout the month of August. We've just hit September, but I'm not done with August yet. I wanted to go through 4 of the albums I've been enjoying throughout the month of August to share with you and give you some recommendations. But first of all, I just wanted to say that at the beginning of last week, I hit 100 subscribers, and a lot of people might be thinking, well, what's so good about that? What's the big deal? Loads of people have got loads more subscribers than that. Well, it is a big deal for me, I'll be honest with you, because, you know, I'll let you in on a little secret. I'm very, very bad at this. And I am. It's just, you know, every video, I slur my words, I get mixed up, I say a lot. And I don't find this very easy at all. I constantly repeat myself. I don't think I'm very articulate about the records I'm showing. And, you know, to hit 100 subscribers, it's a big deal. And, you know, just the fact that there's people out there that think I'm a channel that, you know, warrants regularly coming back to, I find a bit bizarre, to be honest. So I just wanted to say thank you very much, because, you know, it gives me encouragement to keep going. And I am very bad at this. I thought I'd get a bit better, but I don't think that's the case, really. And I always think I'm one video away from giving up on this completely. I did a video last week, and I thought it should have been easy, really, but I had to do it about 3 or 4 times before I was satisfied with it. And yeah, it's just a bit of a shit show, really. But the fact that 100 of you regularly want to come back and watch this is just, you know, flabbergasting to me. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for your company and your support. And you know, maybe I'll carry on, maybe I'll not carry on, but, you know, we'll just see how it goes. And on that note, let's see how this video goes. So here are 4 new videos. See? Here are 4 albums that I've been enjoying in August that I think you should be aware of. Okay, let's start. Okay, so the first album I've been enjoying throughout August is the second album by an electronic musician called Joshua Maney. And he goes under the pseudonym of Barry Can't Swim. Now, I don't know who Barry is or why he can't swim or why it's even relevant, but this is his second album under that pseudonym, Barry Can't Swim, and it's called Loner. And I've really been enjoying this. It's sort of like electronic musician, lots of upbeat moments, dance moments, but there's also a few down-tempo and ambient type tracks on it. But it's just really joyous and upbeat. It's obviously like, you know, like it's meant for the clubs and things like that. But if you like artists like Moby and the Chemical Brothers, you'll really enjoy this. Like I say, this is his second LP on Ninja Tune. I didn't hear his first album, but apparently he was nominated for a Mercury Prize. But I think I heard one of his songs on YouTube and thought it sounded interesting, so I picked the album up, and yeah, I've really been enjoying it. It's really upbeat. Like I say, there's some great soul samples on it. I can't remember who did it, but there's a track that samples "I Choose You," and I can't remember who did the original, but that works really well. Like I said, there's a few songs that do use soul samples. There's a track called Kimpton that uses it's sort of like a really upbeat world music type anthem, and it has sort of like a steel drum type melody on a keyboard that runs all the way through it, and that's really good as well. So yeah, just really cool sort of beatsy, synthy, has lots of strings as well, really well arranged. He's apparently a multi-instrumentalist, and it's yeah, it's just a great upbeat dance electronic type album. I'm going to have to look out for his first album because I've been really enjoying this. On the front cover, there's like a monster that's covered in rosettes, and apparently that was his idea for the theme of the album. It's sort of like his first album had quite a lot of success and a lot of plaudits. So, like he said, sometimes it felt like a monster on his back. He had a lot to sort of contend with and a lot of pressure, and he sort of manifested itself as this rosette covered monster that followed him around, and it was really cool. The only downside is they did a lot of images using this rosette monster for the singles, but they didn't reproduce any of them apart from the front cover. So, you know, on the inside they could have they could have used some of these shots. I mean, that just seems a bit of a lazy design to me, but what do I know? But they could have used some more of the images from the singles on here, which are really cool. This is pressed on a red and gold type splatter vinyl, which looks really nice. But yeah, really cool, really upbeat. Yeah, if you like your Chemical Brothers and you like dance music, it's a great album to practice your dad dancing. It's one of those albums you put it on and you can't help but move in the, an exaggerated dad dancing type way. So it's great to throw shapes to. So yeah, that's Barry Can't Swim and Loner on Ninja Tune. Next up is a band that combines my two most favourite things on the planet, and that is music and being completely daft. This is Weavy Stunder, and this is their first album in 11 years, and it's called Sure Beats Living. I mean, look at that cover. That cover alone is just superb. And they're a sort of electronic band that mixes sort of like weird soundscapes and a lot of humour. It's on the Scam label, which is a Manchester-based electronic label, famous for providing the early releases of Autechre and Boards of Canada. And I've really been enjoying this album. It's just completely bizarre. It's a mixture of strange stories, tall tales, and sort of off-kilter scenarios mixed with electronic beats and soundscapes, and it's just so funny. To go through some of the tracks, it starts with That's Magic, which is sort of like a tale of a magician who gets the volunteer to do more and more increasingly bizarre things with the card, and it doesn't really seem to lead anywhere. You've got Carpet Squares, which is sort of like, if you remember Mr. Scruff from the early 90s, it's sort of like voiceovers of people trying to tell you how to lay a carpet. And even includes Mike's Carpets, if you remember that guy.
Yes, we've thousands of carpets and everything must go.
And it's just brilliant. Beatsy and just loads of sort of bizarre vocal samples. You've got a tale called Vanja and Slavcho, which is about two siblings who discover that if one of them puts the finger up her nose, the tip comes out of the other twin's nose. And they discovered that they put various different fingers in different orifices. It comes out of the other twin, different orifices. And the father decides to take them to a market to show off their abilities. And it's just a great, bizarre story. You've got album titles. This is Weavy Stunder's first album in 11 years. And apparently they stockpiled a lot of album titles for it. So it's a track that basically we didn't want to waste these album titles. We'll tell you what we were considering for this album. My favourites being Led Zeppelin 5. They also decided at one point to go with Tubular Bells 4. And my all-time favourite is Delusions of Grandad. But there's loads of great album titles that they list on that track. There's also a track called Customer Services, in which they phoned somebody on their mobile to do a survey about the album, and the automated voice on the end of it just gets more and more bizarre with what it's asking the person to do. How many fingers am I holding up? Who would win in a 100-metre sprint, Arnold Schwarzenegger or Leo Sayer? And it turns out that the sentient voice is just becoming bored with his job at being in customer services and just wants to have a bit of fun. So that's a really cool track as well. And a song called Ready, in which they go through a voice announce several different genres, and each time there's a 2-second burst where the band attempt to play it. So you've got things like line dancing, Gregorian chant, New Jack Swing, Chaz and Dave. And it's just a great album. It's, just really daft, humoury, surreal album set to electronic beats and stuff. So I can't recommend this enough. I mean, Weavy Stunder are one of those bands that have been credited with the bizarre names of established artists that other dance acts use. Like Joy Orbison or Bob Villan, Sly and the Family Drone. So they're often credited with starting that trend. But yeah, if you want something a bit different and abstract, check this out. It's really cool, really funny. And that's Weavy Stunder, Sure Beats Living on Scam. Superb. It's a famous quote, isn't there? And it goes, "In this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes." Now, I'd add to that and I'd say, in this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death, taxes, and the fact that every year you'll get an album by either the OCs or King Gizzard or probably both. And this time, it's the turn of the OCs. So this is their most recent album. They usually do one a year. Abomination revealed at last, and this is superb. It's what you would describe as an absolute face melter. Even by the OC standards, this is absolutely full on. It's just a huge sort of in your face mix of heavy punk, distorted guitars, the infamous two drummers that they have in the band, like a two drum attack that goes through it. And it's just angry up front. It's just heavy, choppy riffs, deep bass, short, sharp blasts of songs, songs that only last a couple of minutes or even a minute, squealing guitar solos. So it's a really in-your-face OC's album, this one. Apparently, it's inspired a lot by the politics in America at the moment. Frontman John Dwyer sort of, repeatedly attacks America and its politics on this album, sometimes in a very sort of off kilter way. There's a lot of like heavy imagery like you'd expect from a heavy metal album, really. But there's no doubt in my mind who the main target of his anger is. I mean, one of the best lyrics on the album states, "The tyrant needs attention to survive." I mean, who possibly could that be about in America at the moment? But it's just an attack on America, attack on data gatherers, Facebook, Elon Musk, that sort of thing. But the lyrics are so sort of fast and sharp that you do need the lyrics in the album sleeve to really digest what he's going on about. It is short, sharp, stabbing, squealing, full on punk, really, even by the OC standards. This is the Dinked edition, so it comes with a giant poster of the album cover. I mean, my wife can't wait to have this framed in our front room. And it comes on a really cool, I mean, I'm a sucker for splatter vinyl, but it comes on a really cool splatter vinyl. There you go. You've got to love splatter vinyl, haven't you? So cool. You get the lyrics on the inner sleeve and a cool band shot. So yeah, if you like I love the OCs anyway, but if you like your angry punk, I mean, they have toyed with lots of different genres. They've done space rock, they've done a bit of prog, but this is just full on angry punk, and it's just superb. It is an absolute face melt to this album. Really been enjoying this. So that is the OCs and Abomination revealed at last. Okay, lastly, it's a bit of a change of pace. This is the latest album by Paul Weller. I'm a big fan of Paul Weller, but I must admit, I was thinking of sitting this one out for the fact that it's quite expensive for a vinyl. It was nearly 40 quid. And the fact it's a covers album. But I did think I really enjoyed his last covers album, Studio 150, years ago. And I thought it might be worth checking out. So I went for it because I only knew 3 songs on this album. And for a covers album, he has gone for more obscure songs this time, which it makes it sound like a fresh album in a way. If you're not familiar with the songs, it doesn't feel like a covers. And these are quite deep cuts, a lot of the songs on here. So when I bought it, I was only aware of 3 songs, and I did like all the originals of the 3 songs. And I thought they were quite unusual for Paul to pick. One was Pinball by Brian Prothero. I really like that song. It's like a diary entry type song, a 70s song, but I was aware of that and I really liked the original. Also, the Bee Gees' I Started a Joke, which has always been one of my all-time favourite songs. I love that song. I don't think the Bee Gees get enough credit for their early songs because a lot of their songs are actually quite surreal or macabre and they're quite melodramatic. And I started a joke. It's such a, lyrically, it's superb. I know there's a few interpretations of it, but I've always been really drawn to that song. I always think it seems to me about a song about being out of step with the world, and that's something that, that's always resonated with me over the years, because it's a feeling that I've often had. So I love that song. So yeah, that was a good choice. And another bizarre choice I thought was Lyle Waterson's Never the Same. It's on the famous Bright Phoebus folk album that's quite a cult album. I've always loved that album. But Never the Same, it's a really bizarre song. If you read the lyrics to it, it's so dark and it's so clever. It's not got a lot of lyrics to it, and it doesn't have a backstory, but it sort of puts you in the place so well. It's lyrically, it's just superb. It is about a nuclear winter and about a family's reaction to it, and it's really dark in places. So obviously, it's talking about the sun not shining and things will never be the same. The birds aren't reacting in the same way. The kids are playing out in the constant rain, but it's not safe for them to do so. The father's saying, shall we kill the kids? And the preacher's saying, no, let things be. It's a really, really dark song about a nuclear winter, but which is surprising that Paul chose to cover it, really. But yeah, lyrically, it's a superb song, so I was really surprised to see him pick that for this album. As for the other songs, When You Are a King, White Line Fever by the Flying Burrito Brothers, Small Town Talk by Bobby Charles, which is, a couple of things that's come from this is, I thought, why haven't the Bobby Charles first album ever been reissued? For Record Store Day, they did a rarities album. Why didn't they just re-release the original album? It's not been available for years. And the same for Duncan Brown as well. Duncan Brown's first two albums, why haven't they been reissued? No one ever seems to touch them, and they're superb. I'd love copies of those on reissue because they're so expensive to get. But I'm digressing a little bit. But yeah, there's a Duncan Brown cover. There's a great song called Journey by Duncan Brown. Nobody's Fool by Ray Davis. Handouts in the Rain is another strong track. That's a Richie Havens track. I love Richie Havens. I've not heard that song before. And he duets with, who is it? Declan O'Rourke on that song, and it works really well. There's a cover of a Clive Palmer song from the Incredible String Band called Clive's Song. That's a duet with Robert Plant, which you would never expect Paul Weller really to do a duet with Robert Plant, but that works really well. So, for a covers album, to be honest with you, when I first bought it, it didn't really make that much of an impression on me, but I've found that I kept being drawn back to it, and the more I played it, the more I enjoyed it, and because it just seems so different. But puzzlingly, when you look at the credits, Paul doesn't actually play on it hardly at all. He only really supplies the vocals, and I do really like his vocals, to be honest with you. I think I'm in the minority, but I think his vocals get better with age. But Paul just provides the vocals. It seems to me as if Steve Craddock of Ocean Colour Scene, who's been his touring guitarist and part of his band for years, just suggested, should we do a covers album, because Steve Craddock's produced it, he plays most of the instruments on it. It's almost as if to say, Paul, we can get an album out of this, I'll do all the heavy lifting, you just provide the vocals and you choose the tracks. And it does seem a bit like that to me. Whether Paul's going through a period of writer's block again, I don't know, or whether he just feels the need to have an album out every year, I don't know. But yeah, I would say it's not for everybody. I think a lot of people probably find it quite lightweight. But like I say, I think it's one of those albums, the more you listen to it, the more you're drawn into it. And I have been anyway. I've been enjoying this more than I thought I would, to be honest with you. Like I say, it put me off initially because it's quite expensive. It is a double. Although my only criticism of it really is I think it's a bit overlong. It's 15 tracks, and I think it would be better with 12 or, I think there are some songs that... There's a folk song on here called One Last Cold Kiss, which I don't think works overly well. There was another one as well that I wasn't that keen on. Let me see. Can't see it now. White Line Fever, the Flying Burritos Brothers cover. I didn't think that really worked. Like, a country arrangement. I didn't think that really suited Paul, but... Yeah, it just had too overlong. But on the whole, like I say, I just keep coming back to it, so I've been enjoying it. And you know, it is expensive, but to be fair to Paul Weller, he puts a lot of effort into his vinyl releases. Obviously, he's a big vinyl nut, so it's his artwork on his albums are usually spot on, and this is really nice. It's double. It comes with a booklet as well. Nice shot of Paul being reflected there, or he stepped in something. And yeah, there's some sleeve notes by Pete Fahidis, and explaining the reasons for picking the songs and Paul's reflections on them. So it's really nicely packaged. It's on the Parlophone label, and as usual, Paul always reproduces the original labels that he uses, and that's a really nice touch as well. So yeah, it's grown on me, to be honest with you. It's not amazing, but yeah, it's a nice little diversion for Paul Weller, and I've been listening to this more than I expected to be honest with you. Gav Axman Spins also did a good review of this album. If I remember, I'll leave a link to his review below. So yeah, they're the 4 albums I've been enjoying throughout August. So hopefully you'll find something there you enjoy. And again, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching my, you know, poorly put together videos and shambling sort of descriptions of things. And thank you for hopping on, and you know, I hope you stay around. So thanks again for subscribing if you have. If you haven't, don't worry about it, I can understand that as well. So but yeah, no worries either way. But thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing if you have, and I'll see you soon on another video, hopefully. See you later.